creating music, I tend to see a blank canvas.
I always think in terms of color, but what does a song taste like? For Le Savoir, we've been working with this Oxford professor of experimental psychology to create a music track that changes the way that Stella Artois tastes.
Or maybe the music I listen to affects my mood, and I get that. But you're trying to tell me that, a certain piece of music will change the taste. Most people remain to be convinced of that, and yet there's a science behind it, and once you know the connections, you can start sort of deliberately to sort of feed into the creative process and say, if you play that kind of sound, that kind of instrument, in that kind of way, maybe it'll bring out sweetness, it'll bring out bitterness or freshness. The challenge is musically then to try and change people's perception.
Let's get it in.
What the Roots decided to do was to create 2 tracks. One that's high energy and it brings out the sweeter, fruitier notes, and one that's like deeper and that there's a lot of bass notes utilized, and it brings out the bitter notes. The bitter part is our guitarist, our bass player, and our 2 keyboard players, myself on drums and a percussion player, and then the sweet quintet of 2 drummers and 3 horn players. It's an interesting visual in how both videos were shot and utilized a lot of visual component to giving you that feeling of what the song tastes like.
What we're doing in this research is we're looking for the associations that most people have, and then to kind of demonstrate and feed those results back in an experiential event, and to actually see people's faces when the tasting in their mouth changes, and that's going to be a demonstration that the science really works.
I've never done a song with that much cowbell or that much timbales before. And the same for the sweet version, using just the brass. Now that I know what I know, especially with how the senses work and which particular notes stimulate people, I know that I personally will use that knowledge for the next Roots album.
It all goes down sweet till the bitter end.